Hey guys, back here again with another video. In the course, we talk about having the opportunity to utilize a foreign driver's license. And I would like to take this time to explain how every state, every DMV charter has it written in their law, how it's supposed to work for those who are coming into North America from their country, how they can drive and rent cars and do other things and travel while still meeting the state's licensing requirements. So I'm going to show you two jurisdictions, California and Florida. And this is, I'm born in Los Angeles and I've come from California now, currently in Florida. I know the rules here in California and I know the rules here in Florida as well. So these rules are in your DMV charter, whichever state you're in. It applies in all 50 countries within the North American continent. So before I get into that, why? Why are we talking about this? Why can't we just use the regular driver's license? Well, I'm sure you've heard that to give a driver's license is to give them jurisdiction. As long as you are following the rules of the road, sometimes they still try to do what's called irreparable injury, which is giving you traffic citations and all these other different things, seatbelt and having the phone in your hands and all of these different things for what? To collect money for taxes. And it is an unjust situation. So we have things like the injunction that's going to protect us from that. And we also want to take it a step further to operate within our foreign express trust, having a foreign driver's license. Now, if you can't get one right away, then your injunction will protect you with your current state issued license to a certain extent. Because if you have one of these licenses issued by the state, you are considered quasi, 1 foot in and 1 foot out, right? So let's try to do the best we can to get both feet onto one side, which is the foreign side, and away from the whole domestic public de facto system that is controlled by DC, that foreign corporation over in Washington, the District of Columbia, that has spread its wings throughout all the 50 countries, extending its corporate rules and codes and statutes over you. If you want to get away from that, at least from driving, this is how you're going to do that. But I want you to be reassured that you are following the rules. I do not want you to get caught up with giving false identification or things of that nature. I am not an advocate of that, but you must follow the rules. So let's look at California first, and then we'll go into Florida. And if you'd like to get a private foreign ID, please go to patreon.com/the0%. And there is a tier there for you to enroll in, and it will give you the application to begin that process. We have a foreign fiduciary that is in New York. Okay. We're talking about some real John Wick type stuff here. So if you would like that opportunity, you can go to Patreon and get that. So we're talking about presenting yourself as a foreigner. Now, you are a foreigner to who? The District of Columbia, because you were not born there. I don't care what they say and try to make and spin it and make you feel like you are a US citizen because you are here and have a birth certificate. You're not. Your birth certificate is proof that you are a national of that country you were born in. If you're born in California, you are a Californian national. That has nothing to do with the United States or Washington, D.C., unless you give into it and you accept the benefits and privileges of their charter. Other than that, you are a foreigner as well. If I was born in Colombia, you would consider me to be a foreigner to the United States, right? It's the same thing. I'm a California national. I'm a foreigner to Washington, D.C. I'm foreign to them. They were not a part of the union. They weren't. That's just a fact. So what does California DMV say about foreigners who are driving in their state, right? If we click on, let's see, just one little section here. It says, who must have a driver's license? We already know how to get a driver's license as a presumed US citizen. But new California residents. Let's go to adults visiting California. And if I was driving and if I was pulled over by a police officer and I gave him a foreign ID, and it's going to be in a name completely separate than anything that I've given California, right? We talk about title of nobility. That's the name that you're going to have to take on. You do not want to use the first, middle, last name that they already have in their system. Take on a new name. You can keep the first name, but you're going to select a title of nobility as your last name. And that's the name that's going to be on the ID. So if I was pulled over in California and I provided my foreign ID in that specific title of nobility name, now I am considered a true foreigner. And the rules are as such. It says visitors over 18 years old with a valid driver's license from their home state or country may drive in California without getting a California driver's license as long as their home state or country's driver's license is valid. So it has to be a valid foreign ID. Now, foreign IDs fall under the Road and Traffic Convention. So that means you're going to have an international driving permit that always goes with the foreign ID, because your foreign ID may be in another language. It may be outside of English. If it is, the international driving permit will translate that foreign ID for the English police officer to do his investigation. And on top of that, he runs it and he sees that it's in trust. It's on the injunction. It's showing up in his computer. And this happens, you guys. This is a real thing. Therefore, there isn't going to be any citation if you didn't hurt anybody, if you did not injure anyone. That's what you want. That's the piece that you want to have. You don't want to have an argument when you get pulled over by these officers. They do not know these things. Let the sheriff tell them what to do based on what you've served to the sheriff. Okay? Do not get pulled over having a conversation as to all of these sovereign citizen rights. All of that stuff is garbage. They're waiting for you to say it. Do not say it. This is how you avoid it. Be private. Do not be like the others out there who have failed. I don't want to see you guys to have another YouTube video and you're experiencing complete harassment, embarrassing yourself. Enough of that. But let's not stop here at DMV's website for California. Let's actually go to the code, the vehicle code. What does it have to say about foreign licenses being 18 years old and older? So this is vehicle code 12505. And if you go down to section, that is section F. Let me zoom in here. Should be a little bit better, a little more. It says, subject to section 12504. Okay. A person over the age of 16 years who is a resident or a foreign, a person over the age of 16 years who is a resident of a foreign jurisdiction other than the state, territory, or possession of the United States, the District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, or Canada. And I'm going to show you why they mentioned Canada. Most people don't know this part about Canada. I will come back to that. Having a valid driver's license issued to him or her by any other foreign jurisdiction may operate a motor vehicle in this state without obtaining a license from the department. What department? The Department of Motor Vehicles. unless the department determines that the foreign jurisdiction does not meet the licensing standards imposed by this code. Now, how do you not meet the licensing standards? Simple. If your foreign license is in another language, they need it to be translated. So therefore, you must have an international driving permit. And I recommend that you go to PATA, P-A-T-A, over in Kapai, Hawaii. That is where you're going to get your international driving permit, but you're going to have to also give them all of the details from your existing foreign driver's license first. Okay. Now, that is for someone who is 16 years or over 16 years. So this applies to you and this applies to your 16-year-old. You do not have to take them to DMV and do all of that crap. Okay. I mean, it's nice to have them go through the driving school so that they can know how to conduct themselves on the road, all of the laws. You still have to obey the rules. You do not want to drag or make attention to yourself, but you do not have to give them a license from the department. It can be a foreign license, easier to get, less restrictions, and you stay within the confines of your foreign express trust. By the way, have the car registered in trust. Now, you can only do that if the vehicle is paid off. There should not be any liens on there. If you do have a car note and you're going to need to get rid of that loan. The best way to get rid of that loan is to understand how to apply what's called accord and satisfaction. It is a lawsuit. It is something that you do that you're setting up your lender so that you can take them to court, sue, to get the obligation rendered to zero or to receive a significant reduction in loan amount. And at the same time, you can get monetary damages. That's how accord and satisfaction work. If you were to get your loan reduced to zero, you can ask for double the face value of the note, double the face value of the installment sales contract when you got the loan. Go into Patreon and you'll see the videos on what I'm talking about. And you'll also hear the case law between two attorneys arguing back and forth. And the judge says, I've had enough of this. This is crazy. You cash the check. It's done. No more payments. I love accord and satisfaction. So please go in there and check that out. So there's the code on that. You do not need a domestic DMV license from the department. Now I'm going to talk about why are they mentioning Canada? Let's talk about the state of Nevada, state of New York, all the different territories. You got Guam, you got Virgin Islands, you got the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, but why Canada? Well, you ever wondered why the NBA includes the Toronto Raptors? It says the National Basketball Association. What is Canada doing in there? Well, it goes all the way back to the Articles of Confederation, 1781. Most people ask me, can you have a foreign trustee from Canada? Do they qualify to be my foreign trustee? By the way, they're not born in any of the United States. Can they be my trustee? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that. Let's read right here. It says, Canada, acceding to this confederation and adjoining in the measures of the United States, shall be admitted into and entitled to all the advantages of this union, but no other colony shall be admitted into the same, unless such admission be agreed to by the 9 states. So what they're saying is Canada has ceded over their jurisdiction to who? DC as well, just like California did. Nevada did, Oregon did, Washington did, New Hampshire did, North Dakota, South Dakota, Delaware. All of the 50 countries are no longer being recognized as countries, but they still are. It's up to you. Do you want to be recognized under the territory of California, one of the several independent states of the United States of America? Or do you want them to have every single rule and authority over you, imposing statute and codes, bills of attainder, ex post facto laws as the state of California? They left the choice up to you. You're either going to be in trust or out of trust. If you're out of trust, you need a driver's license. If you're out of trust, you're going to pay taxes. If you're in trust, you don't need a driver's license. If you're in trust, you're not going to pay taxes. It's as simple as that. Okay, when it talks about Canada acceding to this confederation, it says the style of this confederacy shall be the United States of America. So Canada and the USA are on the same footing. So no, you cannot have a trustee from Canada at all. Go outside of Canada. Let's not stop there. Let's go into Florida's jurisdiction. All right. This is, what is that? Title 23, Motor Vehicles, Chapter 322, Driver's Licenses. And we're going to go down to Section 322.04, persons exempt from obtaining driver's license. We're going to go down to Section D. It says a non-resident who is at least 18 years of age and who has in his or her immediate possession a valid non-commercial driver's license issued to the non-resident in his or her home state or country operating a motor vehicle other than a commercial motor vehicle in this state. What does this mean? The following persons are exempt from obtaining a driver's license. You will meet this criteria if you get a foreign driver's license with your international driving permit. Okay? It is as simple as that. You do not need to have it. There are attorneys out there that do not know this. There are attorneys out there that do know it and won't say anything. Remember, attorneys are issued by the bar. They are officers of the court. That is their first allegiance. And the court is the bank. That is where money is collected, and that is where money is distributed by court order. So with that being said, that is all I have in regards to driver's license for now. I will talk about it more inside of Patreon. Hope to see you guys there for our next Q&A session on Saturday. Until then, see you next time.